What's up, everybody? This week I'm joined by Superweird's Ben Tynan and Dexter Duran as we talk about one of the best animated movies of all time, The Lion King. That and a whole lot more is to come, because maybe cracking up uncontrollably is a great way to interview people. Welcome to the show. Alright, everybody, hope everybody is doing well. I am joined for the first time ever, more than one person, so this is going to be fun. I'm joined by Ben Tynan. Ben, how are you, brother?
Hi, I'm great.
And Dexter Duran. Dexter, welcome back, man.
Hello.
So, yeah, we're going to be here talking about probably the best movie that Disney ever made, especially in the 90s, but definitely of all time, in my humble opinion. But before we
Indian in a cupboard.
Indian in a cupboard.
Wait, planes.
I at least kept it 90s. I am going to spoil everything and say I have not seen a Cars 2, a Planes, a Trains, or an Automobiles.
But have you seen Planes, Trains, and Automobiles?
Probably when I was like 5. Okay. I remember John Candy as the devil laughing his ass off in a car that's smoking.
John Candy is the equivalent of your older brother or sister putting their hand like half an inch towards your face going, I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. But we're going to get into The Lion King before we do, guys. Check us out on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram. If you're on YouTube, check out bit.ly/bmnetwork-YouTube. And, of course, if you foot traffic, this is not where you usually listen to podcasts. Go check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, iHeartRadio, Stitcher Radio, and TuneIn. That's where we're all located. So, guys, The Lion King.
El Rey León.
El Rey León.
The Lion King was the Lion King soundtrack was the first CD I ever bought. Or had bought. It was the first CD I owned in my what would become an enormous CD collection, which would eventually get stolen because I kept it all in a Case Logic book.
And it was just so portable and
It
easy
was.
to take out of
my entire collection.
a bedroom.
I was on tour, and the sound guy at the sound booth asked if I had any good music he could play, and I just left my Case Logic book back at the sound booth, and it disappeared, and I never saw it again.
Did you ever see the sound guy again?
No, it was in Cincinnati. And so that's the only thing I remember about the town of Cincinnati. Somebody there took all my CDs.
If you were listening in Cincinnati and you found a Logic CD case of everything, send it back this way.
Yeah.
We need it back.
It's a black 100 count. See, and it was the one where like you could put the sleeves on the backside of the CD.
There was
in the
enough
front.
room in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question? What was your most prized CD in that collection?
Oh, God.
If you could get one back.
Well, I mean, I'm sure it's one that I already have long since owned.
I didn't ask what you already own again.
Okay.
What do you want back?
What did I immediately start trying to replace?
Like, what was the first? Yeah, exactly. What was the first one you got another copy of?
Probably Cracked Rear View, Hootie and Blowfish.
Oh, wow. Limp to the barn on that answer, man.
Because it's a great album.
You probably walked to the local, like, Five and Dime and picked up a copy of that, right?
Probably.
Found one in a couch cushion the next day.
No, I think I just stayed at somebody's house like a week later and raided. The first thing I did was I went to Walmart and bought like a big spool of blank CDs.
Of course.
And just anytime I got access to someone's CD collection for the rest of the tour, I would grab the laptop with the CD burner and I would just grab 5 CDs and make 5 copies. And I slowly built my collection back of all just burned shit.
I thought you were just like, I would find a CD and make 5 copies of that CD.
And now I have 5 Case Logic binders, and they're all hidden in different rooms in my house.
I have more copies of Cracked Rear View than you've ever seen.
Hootie the Blowfish calls me.
Right. Never showed up an ashtray here.
Things about the 90s. So 1994, the album of Cracked Rear View, but also the album of The Lion King.
Yes.
The album. The year.
The year of The Lion King.
You edit all those words together to make sense.
That's fine. That's fine.
In the Chinese New Year, it was the year of the Lion King.
It was the year of the Hootie.
Next year was the year of the Blowfish.
Of course.
But no, this right. That's probably going in at the end. This movie right here was kind of an outlier, right? And what I say by that is going into this movie coming out, everybody thought that Disney was not past it, but they weren't coming back to their best just yet, right? And we'll go into why here in just a second. But for all the stat nerds out there, this was an animated, obviously, musical drama comedy.
It was the 32nd,
yes.
I believe, animated. The previews or the trailers for it would always say, the 32nd fully featured Disney animated collection.
What are they, Quentin Tarantino, boasting about what number film they're making?
Well, that started a great game for me because I always used to see if I could count the other 31 without looking anything up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you not have friends?
No. No.
Did anyone sit you down and go, Dexter,
in
that's not a good thing to
1994,
do.
I had a Lion King soundtrack album and a Hootie and the Blowfish album.
Hang on.
And they were my
1994,
friends.
I was in 2nd grade. I did not get a CD player until I was in the 6th grade.
I was in the 6th grade.
Oh, wow. So 6th grade, you get your music players.
You get your
apparently.
car in 10th grade, and in 6th grade, you get the freedom to listen to music.
You guys were lucky, man. My older sister lived in the room next to me, and she would just blast Madonna and whatever was the CD of the month at
What
that
was
time.
Madonna doing in 94? Like Evita?
Oh, Madonna was releasing My Baby's Got a Secret. Ooh. And Take a Bow, which is an objectively really good song.
I don't know how that one goes. Is that the strike?
I've always been in love with you. With the bullfighter in the video.
Okay.
Shit was sad, man.
And so you'll never hear me sing on this one because, trust me,
You will hear us sing on all of them.
there you go. My kid's like, Dad, why don't you sing? I said, you say you can't sing. No, I can sing. It's not very good.
Yeah.
More of a weapon than a skill
I can't
set.
so much carry a tune in a bucket as so much as I have to behead the tune and carry it by the hair.
I carry it in a super soaker.
Yes.
Like I'm the 7th layer of torture the CIA has to offer.
Bring in John.
But
we need to get this information.
The razor blades aren't doing anything.
all right, I'll tune up the pipes. But they always did animation stuff, right? Obviously, the 32nd. That's what they said from Snow White all the way along, right?
They did live action though at some in the 80s and before.
You didn't. Yeah, before.
Their famous money losing endeavor, The Black Hole, came out in what 83.
83 or 84.
They also
I
had
think.
Flight of the Navigator.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
stuff, but it was never. It was usually only for the Disney Channel. Was their live action stuff. Were they releasing a lot of live action stuff in the?
We didn't have a Disney Channel in 1994, did we?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did. I had a
I
Disney
didn't.
Channel growing up on a satellite. If you had satellite TV,
Bougie satellite
Yeah.
Dexter over here.
the big satellite dish in your backyard that you could
I had a friend that had one of those,
climb
and
in.
every time you changed the channel, that moved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It took you 20 minutes to dial your way to the Disney
His
Channel.
mom came into the house one day. She was mowing the lawn in the backyard, and she said, "Ben, pick a channel and fucking watch it."
He was trying to find the Disney Channel, but she thought he was trying to find scrambled porn.
Sorry, I was a Nickelodeon boy. Disney
See,
Channel
I was very
for
late.
kids.
I was very late to Nickelodeon. I grew up on the Disney Channel. Didn't find Nickelodeon until I was probably in the 3rd or 4th grade.
Nickelodeon had edge. Disney was too soft.
Yeah, it was, but it was all I knew. I knew there was, The Lion King wasn't out yet, but I remember seeing ads for it.
You had a very pillowed existence anyway.
Yes.
Well, the
See
easiest way to
Superbook.
tell the difference between Nickelodeon and Disney is just watch Doug.
Oh, you mean you watch the Nickelodeon version
Yeah.
of Doug and then go watch the soft-ass
No,
Disney version of
don't
Doug?
ever watch the Disney version of Doug.
Disney's Doug is just in your face insulting.
They took everything that made Doug great
Yeah.
and on it.
What made Doug great? Because it wasn't my favorite show on Nickelodeon.
Because Doug felt like someone you knew.
It was more real. It was more down to earth and realistic of a
I
cartoon.
guess I wasn't really looking for down to earth and realistic in a cartoon. I was looking for something fantastical. Take me away from my existence, oh God.
It was,
was relatable.
just on that line of being sort of absurdist and also being relatable.
Okay.
It made daydreaming and music and creativity.
Journaling.
Yeah, it
Tiny
made,
Toons was where I was at in that place.
Well, I also
Yeah.
loved Tiny
Yeah.
Toons.
But you show me Tiny Toons and show me Doug. I mean, those are just two different tones.
true,
And
but
none of these are Disney IPs,
No.
by the way.
No,
Yeah.
but imagine you take Tiny Toons,
Okay.
and then take everything that was cool about Tiny Toons and make it as generic and as homogenized as you could possibly imagine, and then sack the writing staff and voice talent cast and bring a whole new set in and make the episodes as awful as you can imagine. That's about this close. Yeah.
It's Doug was already a kind of vanilla show, but imagine if instead of vanilla flavored ice cream, you just had ice flavored ice cream. That's Disney's Doug.
That's awful. You need to put something into something. Like what I had looking forward to with The Lion King was Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
What?
Oh, I had such a hard-on for Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Like, Home Improvement was my jam. I thought Jonathan Taylor Thomas and I were going to be best friends if we ever met. Like, he was edgy. He had an attitude. He didn't give a what his dad, Tim Allen, thought.
See, the first time I saw Jonathan Taylor Thomas was WrestleMania 10. He was like a guest announcer or timekeeper or something like that.
He was just a special guest at ringside.
And he looked terrified to be there.
He wasn't like in a cage match all of a sudden.
No.
He rolled up tux and everything.
He had a
bow tie.
tux. It was so cool. And I'll tell you why he was terrified. Because that poor little boy who's just on the precipice of hitting puberty is sitting next to Pamela Anderson and is just like... there's so much testosterone in this arena, and I'm sitting next to like the most attractive woman of her day.
Yeah,
I don't know what to do.
Well, here's the other thing too, right? You mentioned 32nd. Do you know what the 31st Disney movie was? And I haven't written this
Aladdin.
down. No.
Hang on, I'm trying to think what came out directly before
The Lion King.
The Lion King. Give me a minute. Hang on. Give me 1 second.
My money's still on Aladdin.
Was it? It was animated.
Yes.
Was it a musical?
Kind of.
Kind of?
Did it have songs in it that were
Yes.
sung by the characters?
Yes.
What? If I ask that question, it's going to give it away. What's the anthropomorphic animal that we're following around in it?
None.
None. It's animated since following around people, and it's the year before. It's 1993.
1993.
Rescuers Down Under.
Nope.
I don't know.
No,
That has animals in it. I'm dumb.
When I was doing my research, this is officially classed The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh.
That
doesn't.
Wait a minute.
That doesn't count.
Does that count as a Disney?
They counted it.
Okay.
Really?
They counted it.
All right.
I didn't even know it was Disney until I read that. I'm like, what the heck? Tim Burton? Disney?
That's not classically animated. That's stop motion.
True. That is true, but
I agree with you that technically it was it may have been the movie that predecessor
what was the
preceded?
What was the traditional Disney animated movie before the
Aladdin.
Lion King? It was Aladdin.
It was Aladdin.
Okay.
They came out the same year.
I've played this game a lot.
Okay.
I can go back pretty far in chronological order.
I mean,
you didn't know The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Because I wasn't. That's not traditionally
You
animated.
lose your Disney badge, sir.
No,
I'll
to be
get it
fair, doing the research when I found that out, I thought, that's
a
not
lie.
right. That can't be true.
What's this?
But I mean, you got to understand, right? Disney came and they did all the classic ones like Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, blah 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 blah, and then like they all kind of went off the rails after Robin Hood, and then they brought out something like Black Cauldron.
Yeah, Robin Hood was in the 70s, I believe, right?
That was their last big.
Yeah.
That made.
And that's kind of where, because the one of the 32 that we're counting up to the Lion King that I still to this day have not seen is the Aristocats, and I don't know when it was released.
You're not missing much.
It's the only one. It's the one. I get the merit badge if I watch it, but I just can't bring myself to because I don't care.
There's a lot of the Aristocats that does not age well. A lot of old Disney doesn't age well, but
yeah, I mean, you get
Aristocats
Song of the
especially.
South.
I think hasn't that been banned from Disney Plus completely?
Who?
Song of the South.
Oh,
I gotta believe so.
Probably.
So between 73 and 89, right? All their animated shows were dreadful. All the animated movies were dreadful, right? I mentioned Black Cauldron, but there was a whole lot of stuff that just didn't measure up to the classic stuff.
You said up until 85?
89.
89. So you're including was it either 87 or 88's Oliver and Company, starring Billy Joel?
Well,
Which was
the first.
Wait, did Oliver and Company precede Rescuers Down Under? Because both of those are late 80s, along with The Great Mouse Detective.
I think 88 was The Rescuers.
Rescuers Down Under. I saw that in theaters.
Because in 89 came out The Little Mermaid.
Yeah. Little Mermaid is kind of the start of the resurgence.
They had Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, Lion King.
Yeah.
And then I think Toy Story was the next one.
Yeah, but that's Pixar.
That's Pixar.
Count.
Doesn't count. Even though they tried to market it.
No, after Lion King, you have Pocahontas, and then Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Yeah, and then it was Hercules.
And then Mulan, and then
Mulan.
Hercules. And no, I'm sorry, Hercules, then Mulan, then Tarzan. And then you're at the year 2000.
The one with the dodgy Phil Collins soundtrack.
Yeah, no.
So
no.
dodgy.
The banging Phil Collins soundtrack. You want the dodgy Disney Phil Collins soundtrack? You're going to go to the next movie, which is Brother Bear.
Oh,
which
yes.
also had music by Phil Collins, except he didn't sing it because Disney was like, dude, two movies? No.
All right, hang on just one second.
Were you fact-checking me?
I'm going through these movies after Robin Hood.
After Robin Hood.
Yes,
right.
and I'm thinking to myself, why aren't these talked about more?
So what's the year of Robin Hood?
73.
73. Okay.
So after Robin Hood in 77, we have the many adventures of Winnie the Pooh.
Who really considers that? I guess.
I feel like that's more of we stitched together a couple of Winnie the Pooh shorts.
Well, a lot of those original 32 are stitched together mini shorts.
After Winnie the Pooh, we have The Rescuers.
The first one?
Correct.
Okay.
With the naked lady in the window?
The naked lady in the window.
That's what I remember. After that, in 81, The Fox and the Hound. Why does no one talk about The Fox and the Hound? I love The Fox and the Hound.
Because everyone is trying to suppress that memory.
Because it's a very sad movie.
I have post-traumatic stress disorder from that movie. I won't watch it again. I can't do it. I can't put myself through that.
Nope.
And then we got The Black Cauldron, Great Mouse Detective, and then Oliver and Company, and then we get into the renaissance of The Little Mermaid, Rescuers Down Under, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, Nightmare Before Christmas, The Lion King. There's something in there that we did not mention. DuckTales, the movie.
Treasure of the Lost Lamp.
There we go.
But I don't think wasn't that released by a different studio.
I'm fairly certain that was just like a direct-to-video thing.
It wasn't.
May have.
It wasn't. It had a theatrical release. I saw it. But around the 90s, Disney
Movie Tunes is who made it. Yeah.
Yeah, they made two other animated studios because one released DuckTales Treasure of the Lost Lamp, and the other one's first movie was a Goofy movie, 1995.
Yeah,
but those aren't counted in the like the mainline canon.
I think it's because like all of these classic Disney movies are either old fairy tales or retellings of like other types of stories.
Public domain. That's
Yes.
how Disney made their money.
Yes.
And ironically, a lot of those things that Disney now has the rights to should be public domain again because we're coming up on that time.
Yeah.
I mean,
Disney fighting tooth and nail to keep it.
they're not going to be able to.
Desperately do not want Mickey Mouse to become public domain.
No.
So The Lion King started being talked about, and the trailer came out, and it was like, hey, there's no people in this movie.
No.
You know, we've just done Aladdin, people, Beauty and the Beast, people, Little Mermaid, people.
It was kind of half and half, people and animals.
So
or
this
people
was
and
their
beasts.
first back to, like, there are no humans or humanoid creatures. This is purely an animal movie.
Like, even the Jungle Book had human characters.
And I
in it.
remember seeing the animation style and going, it's just a movie about animals. Because, again, Ben knows this. I don't like movies that only feature animals or even that feature animals.
If it has to do with talking animals, Dexter is gone.
Even not talking. Benji movies, won't watch them.
Well, see, this is the thing, right? It wasn't supposed to be about lions.
What was it supposed to be?
Before it became The Lion King, it was a movie about set in the jungle and a battle between lions and baboons.
But lions don't exist in the jungle.
I know that.
So we had to change it to like the Serengeti or the grasslands.
They changed it to Savannah, right? They reworked the script and they took elements from Joseph and Moses and Hamlet.
Yeah, and I knew that it was very loosely based on Hamlet.
Slapped them together and then called it a movie.
Okay, I mean it's a good movie.
Yeah, like I said before we got started, I think
you got Jonathan Taylor Thomas, which everybody loved. You had Matthew Broderick, which everybody loved, and you had Whoopi Goldberg, which everybody loved.
You had Ferris Bueller.
James Earl Jones, which everybody
loved James Earl
Who
Jones.
doesn't love James Earl Jones?
And what kid doesn't want to go see a good Jeremy Irons movie?
Yeah, right. And Mr. Bean.
And Rowan Atkinson. Yes.
He tried to break into Hollywood, so his big two roles were Zazu and
Johnny English.
No, the husband in Hot Shots Part 2.
Oh yeah,
that I do not remember.
No, I do remember that. He was very funny. I was also going to say he's the bad guy, or like the reverse bad guy in the Scooby-Doo movie with Matthew Lillard and Freddie Prinze Jr.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was mid 2000s though.
It was like 2000. It was like right at 2000, if I'm not mistaken.
The second one?
The first
maybe.
The first one, yeah. Who was the bad guy in the first one? Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert, the bad guy in the Scooby-Doo movie is Scrappy Doo.
That always was the case.
Yeah.
Always the case.
And everyone hates Scrappy. Why
Yeah.
are we talking about Scooby-Doo?
I don't know.
Because it's tangentially related to The Lion King.
Yes.
Yes.
If you haven't seen The Lion King, number one, why are you listening? But number two, I mean, it came out a few years in the theaters.
How have you lived this long without seeing The Lion King?
It was released in '94. It was in the theater a long time.
Yeah. But and even like because I remember watching it in the theater, Lion King 3D, a couple of years ago.
Really?
Yeah, they re-released it.
Huh. I will say
didn't see
The Lion King in 1994 was the last Disney movie my parents took me to see as a child. Because after that, I considered myself too grown up to watch Disney movies in the theater. Because Pocahontas, I didn't care.
No.
But Lion King, after Lion King, I was like, all right, I'm 12, I'm 13. I don't need to be watching Disney movies in the theater anymore. Because Disney was kid stuff back then, you know.
I mean, we were the same way. Like we watched this. It was me and my buddies all watched it, and then it's like, you know what? We're all older. Let's go watch something older.
Yeah.
Let's go watch something with boobs in it.
So we watched Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah,
and
absolutely. Then same year.
Then a couple of years later, right? The whole thing again. We're all grown up, so we went to watch Ace Ventura 2. And it wasn't out in the theaters yet. So we had a choice between two movies, GoldenEye and The Miracle on 34th Street.
Oh,
and GoldenEye was sold out.
Ooh.
Oh. Yikes.
That reindeer only flies on Christmas Eve.
That's right.
Wait, but is Miracle on 34th Street, is the Santa Claus from that movie
John Hammond from Jurassic Park?
Yeah. Not Tim Allen from...
his name. It's one of the Attenboroughs, and I can't remember.
David Attenborough.
There. No, David is his brother. Richard Attenborough. You're right.
Are you telling me that we could have John Hammond narrating nature documentaries, but his brother's doing it?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Well, his brother's also making the nature documentaries, too.
Oh, really?
He's not just narrating them.
Oh, really?
David Attenborough is a documentarian who makes nature documentaries.
I always thought he was just a narrator that British people loved.
No.
And as we can see, over in the hills, the lions are laying down after a night supper. And like everybody's like, ooh, that's awesome.
My God, give that man a BAFTA.
Give him 2.
Give him an EGOT.
Right? But no, it's kind of weird, right? The crossover between everything, right? Because I mean, like you mentioned, you had Jonathan Taylor Thomas. The cast in this one. Let me jump ahead real quick. The cast in this one is unbelievable. And when I say unbelievable, I mean I can't believe they got this many people in a Disney movie that's animated for a start, right? Because all of these names had some kind of value to them. Very few people had name value, and very few people in Hollywood were willing to do business with Disney after the Robin Williams debacle in Aladdin.
Yeah, the marketing debacle?
Yeah.
Where he said he would do it for SAG pay, but he didn't want his character used for marketing, or at least the genie's character couldn't take up more than 25% of marketing.
Yeah.
So like a movie poster, the genie couldn't be more than 25% of that poster. And of course, the teaser poster was all the genie.
All genie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
that's
Rob Williams was like, no, thank you.
Well, that also spun because Disney didn't want him promoting Fern Gully, which was coming out the same year as Aladdin.
Mm-hmm.
No.
And he's just like, it's my voice, guys, right?
Yeah.
I can do whatever I want with it.
Plus, Disney was, I mean, they were trying to be like, we're really broke and we can't, like, and he's like, just please do it for SAG pay. And he was like, all right, but here's the deal. Like, I'm giving you my talent. You can't, like, use my name to, like, make all this money. And they're like, yeah, sure, whatever.
That probably explains the opening scene from Mrs. Doubtfire. Why he so goes into the producers and the writers who were in the room, just going off on them like he did. But
I can imagine that Robin Williams, even with his amazing level of professionalism, was probably very hard to wrangle in a studio.
Oh yeah. You give Robin Williams a mic.
You give Robin Williams a breath.
Yeah, and he's just gonna go for it.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Bill Murray used to do ad lib all this time, but I'm pretty sure 90% of Robin Williams' lines in most of the movies that he did.
I would take Robin Williams' monologue over a Bill Murray monologue.
True.
Any day of the week.
Any day of the week. Love Bill Murray, but I feel like it would be very like Norm Macdonald, just like dry and no one would get it.
Robin Williams was one of those characters that just couldn't turn it off.
No.
Yeah.
He was on all the time. You know who's not in this movie, though? Robin Williams.
And Bill Murray.
But I would say this movie is absolutely riding off the coattails of Robin Williams making Aladdin what it was.
Yeah.
The goodwill of a movie that had come out the previous year. Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
this is what they did last year. What are they going to be able to do this year?
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, Aladdin was fucking amazing. Yeah, I mean, I remember going to the theater. I remember my dad leaning over and going, "Hey, Aladdin," and I go, "Yeah." He goes, "That's Mork from Mork and Mindy," and my little brain went, and like. From that moment on, like, I wanted to go and rent every Robin Williams movie I could find. I remember there being some I was not allowed to rent.
Sit down, Dexter. We're going to watch Good Morning Vietnam.
Yeah, or The Fisher King.
Hey, The Fisher King plays to children. It's a little intense, but it plays to children.
Yeah.
And Terry Gilliam movies play to children.
And that movie...
All of them.
The movie Toys.
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Like, here's the thing. Any movie is a children's movie if the kid can watch TV.
Yeah. So, of course, how are we going to beat Robin Williams? We're going to bring in Elton John.
Yep.
We're going to bring in Jonathan Taylor Thomas, Matthew Broderick, Whoopi Goldberg, Cheech Marin. Who was the third hyena?
Jim Cummins.
Jim
Cummins,
a Disney staple.
Fucking voice actor extraordinaire. You need a dog in your movie? Get us Jim Cummings.
Yeah. I mean, he had already made a name for himself as Pete and as the second Tigger. Lots of things.
Second Pooh, too.
Second Pooh, yeah.
Also, we
It's
had...
the name of my band, Second Pooh.
That's what I just call 11 o'clock.
They did have something for the grown-ups, though. They had James Earl Jones and Madge Sinclair as husband and wife.
Yes, I remember my mom.
Yeah, from Coming to America.
Talking about how she couldn't wait to see more movies with Matt Sinclair in it.
But Coming to America was such a great Eddie Murphy movie.
Yeah.
Right.
And you have James Earl Jones and Madge Sinclair like as the quintessential African royal couple.
Yep.
And so pulling that into a Disney movie,
It kind of you
great.
you immediately associated with it because you knew
you're like this is as it should be.
Whether it's
I was
whether it's right
8
or wrong
when this
or not.
movie came out. I didn't know that.
Okay.
No.
But and I also had Nathan Lane, who Theodothens.
Oh,
know who he is.
Timon?
Yes.
Yes. And then Mario, somebody
Star of the
as
Birdcage.
Pumbaa.
Ernie Sabella.
Not Mario. Wow.
I always thought it was Dom DeLuise, but that's just because I think all fat guys are Dom DeLuise.
It was John Candy.
I'll bet they asked John Candy to be the voice of Pumbaa.
I'm somewhere. There's a John Candy almost getting tapped to play a Disney character somewhere.
It's gotta be.
Just
If you're
kinda-
out there and you know the answer to that question, let us know.
He was the voice of Wilbur in Rescuers Down Under.
There it is.
There it is.
Yep. The Rescuers.
So don't
Down
forget
Under.
it.
Yeah, now don't
No
send
one
us
cares.
email. We know. I know. These two don't apparently.
I don't need Google. I need a Ben Tynan.
Just
He's like
follow you around and go, how do you not know that?
He's like a Pokedex for like a very coy. Just he yells at you what the real answers are about movies while making you feel stupid.
Can we just talk a second? I keep seeing this name down here on the voice of adult Simba singing voice. Joseph Williams, son of composer John Williams, lead singer of the band Toto?
Yeah.
Holy crap, man. That's news to me.
Wait, you're talking about Simba's adult singing voice?
Yeah, that wasn't
singer
wasn't
for
it?
Toto.
I know that the child singing voice wasn't JTT. It was
What?
No, it wasn't. It was a young African American guy that actually I can't remember what he went on to do. He was a singer though.
Yeah. Jason Weaver. He did a lot of. If my memory, I didn't write it down, which I probably should have. He did a lot of. I think he did a lot of Broadway.
Okay.
And yeah, Joseph Williams, lead singer of Toto. I guess he stayed in Africa.
I thought Steve Perry was the lead. No, that's Journey. Sorry.
Yes.
I get my Journey and Toto confused.
And for a fleeting moment, you said Steve Perry. I was thinking Steve Tyler. So
I get my.
And I was thinking Joe Perry.
Yeah.
Instead, we got Elton John.
There we go. But that was Elton John's. This is Elton John's comeback.
I don't know if Elton John ever really went down. It definitely exposed him to the new audience.
His stock
Everyone-
very much plummeted.
Our parents, that generation, already were sold on Elton John.
Yeah.
And so this was Elton John selling himself to our
He became
generation.
cool again.
Yeah.
For a brief period of time, even though he looked like a somebody's aunt.
Dexter and I went to go see Elton John a few years ago.
Yes, at
And
the
it
Bossier
wa-
Civic
And
Center.
we were very excited, and we were looking forward to seeing one of our favorite all-time songwriters and performers.
Yeah, I was waiting to hear like Mona Lisa's and Mad Hatter's,
And
Tiny
they
Dancer.
propped this fat old lady down in this f***ing piano, and she's singing 4 octaves below the original song.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like when he got to the chorus of Tiny Dancer,
Oh.
he didn't even try.
Yeah, when he did the...
But he knew everybody in the audience was taking over for him.
Oh, yeah, sure. Like, whenever he gets to the ahs and Yellow Brick Road, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, he just like, on the ground.
Yeah, I mean, we all know that Tiny... we all know that...
I had a friend of mine. Him and his dad went to an Elton John gig in my hometown, and it was just him and a piano. And everybody. It was around about the time that "Candle in the Wind" had come out in the UK after.
Diana
Yeah,
version?
Yeah, the Diana version.
Candle 94, as it's called. 1994. We got The Lion King. We got Princess Diana's death.
No, that was 97.
Was it?
Yes, I will remember Princess.
Oh,
Diana.
you're right.
I will remember Princess Diana's death to my dying day.
I'm sorry.
For one reason.
Candle
one
97.
Reason, for one reason and one reason only.
You what?
I was a paper boy,
Okay.
and she died on a Saturday night.
Okay.
Oh,
Sunday delivery was a
no.
hard enough job in the first place, but every newspaper was like 3 inches thick with all the tributes.
Oh, so not only
son,
that,
up
you
the
got those
mountain.
inserts like super late too,
Yeah.
right? Oh,
So like having to carry that shit up the mountain because my route was on top of a hill. Yeah, so I will always remember that to my dying breath.
I think the point we take from this is that The Lion King had nothing to do with Princess Di's death.
No.
That was a good 3 years later.
Yes.
Although Elton John was just like, "Come on, hurry up! I'm gonna release this Candle 90 something.
Yeah.
Somebody hurry
Somebody
up and die."
Somebody die. And just waiting to get tapped. And he's a Princess Di? Yeah, I'll take it.
I'm pretty sure he went all.
Goodbye, England's Rose.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he went all Krusty the Clown on it too, though. It's like,
Uh.
is all this money going to Diana's charity? Well, we got to pay the agents, the producers, those limos ain't back in 3, and then whatever's left over, we'll probably give to the charity.
Yep. Sending our love all the way down.
All the way down. So I went to the cheapest website I could find to get a good plot, and then when I couldn't find one, I half wrote one of my own. So this might be missing something. I apologize.
We will correct you, sir.
You will correct me. All right. So we're in the Pride Lands of Africa. Pride Alliance rule over the animal kingdom from Pride Rock.
That's 3 times you've used the word pride.
I know. It was it's almost like there's a lion term or something.
Yeah.
So the Pride Lands,
Yes.
is that just the lands where prides of lions live?
I'm guessing so.
Okay. Because land can't feel an emotion.
No.
It's a pride of land over there.
Pride of land.
Tract of lands.
What curtains?
We're not gonna. You have opened a dangerous door by attempting to read a plot because we are gonna stop you halfway through every sentence.
Well, second sentence. King Mufasa and Queen Sabiri's newborn lion.
Sarabi.
Sarabi.
Scar says it.
I am blind, man. I think that's his newborn son. Okay, newborn son Simba is presented to the gathering of animals by Rafiki the mandrill.
Mandrill, yeah, it's a type of monkey.
I'm just glad I said that right. The kingdom's shaman and advisor. Who was he advising?
He's like the chaplain or something?
Well, a shaman, is a medicine man.
Yes.
That would know things with stuff. Yeah, and then an advisor would simply be someone that's like, hey, man, you probably shouldn't do that.
So he's a medical advisor.
So
He's a continuity advisor? I don't know.
So going back to The Simpsons, he's his manager, agent, drug deal, keeper aware of?
Yes.
Dude, if anybody knew how to get drugs in the Pride Lands, it was Rafiki.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He already had them all. He's just cracking open like weird fruits and
Yeah, I mean,
powders.
you saw that trip that Simba took where he saw his dad in the clouds. Like, that's psilocybin or something.
Sure.
Mufasa's younger brother Scar covets the throne and is angered by the birth of the new prince. This is the subject of an argument with first Mufasa's major domo, the home. I don't.
All right, well, in the movie, it's his Major Dodo. Because he is a dodo bird.
Yes.
Actually, I think he's a toucan, but the joke was that he was a Major Dodo.
Yes. Okay, that's what happened.
But Major Domo, I think, is the actual term.
Yes. Of the hornbull Zazu, then Mufasa himself. Basically put at the very, very beginning of the movie, Scar and Mufasa argue over the birth of the king.
Right, after we get the cool establishing shot of the king being, or the new king being birthed.
That right there is probably the greatest animation sequence of all time up to that point.
That was the trailer for the movie.
Yeah, the trailer was just the intro.
They didn't release a second trailer, another teaser. It's just like, this is what you f***ing get.
They didn't need to.
All movies should do that.
Yeah.
The trailer for your movie should be the first 2 minutes of your movie.
Everything up to the title card.
Right.
Oh, then again, though, the movie Quick Change, it's just Bill Murray walking down the street dressed as a clown with Luck Be a Lady Tonight going behind it.
I've never seen that movie. Quick Change?
You have to watch that movie. It's got Bill Murray, Crazy Dennis Quaid, Crazy Randy Quaid, and Gina Davis.
Oh, God.
It's very, very quick plot. They try to rob a bank in a comedic way, and every time all their escapes go wrong.
Okay.
It's got Phil Hartman in it.
Okay, I was about to say, like, this movie is obviously old because
1990.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, it's got Phil Hartman in it. I'll watch it.
Yes. He's only in it for one scene, but he steals that scene.
I'll take it.
And it's got that 70s dad in it.
Kurtwood Smith?
Yes.
Kurtwood something?
Kurtwood Smith.
Is that his name?
Mm-hmm.
He's not threatening to put feet up asses this time.
I'm sorry. He's the bitches leave guy in RoboCop.
He's also done his bit in Star Trek as well.
Yeah, he was the Klingon ambassador in Star Trek 5.
He was also like a Cardassian in like Star Trek Deep Space Nine or Voyager or something.
Really?
Like that. Yeah.
I don't have something to top that.
I can picture him as a Cardassian.
But
Really
yeah, Mufasa, he was all like, Sarabi and I missed you at the ceremony today. Oh, that was today. I feel simply awful. And he scratches his claws down the cave, and Zazi's like,
right?
He's like, yeah.
If I'd known, I'd have practiced my curtsy. Don't turn your back on me, Scar.
Oh, no, brother. Perhaps it is you who shouldn't turn your back on me.
Is that a challenge?
Eventually, yes.
I'm getting real Cain and Abel vibes from these two.
Yeah, two brothers that hate each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Abel didn't hate Cain.
I don't
think that Mufasa hates Scar.
No, but Scar
But
definitely
the other way
hated
around.
Mufasa.
The other way around. It did.
Scar hates everything that Mufasa is, which is apparently successful.
Well, Scar, I would assume, came from Mufasa. It's never addressed in the movie, but I would assume that Mufasa is the alpha because at one point when they were younger, they fought for it, and Mufasa won, giving Scar his scar.
And then they just started calling him Scar from that moment on.
No wonder he snapped.
He's the beta. He is the beta. I mean, he's all gangly looking, I mean, he's getting the scraps from Mufasa's table,
which is some bullshit. I mean, why?
So a few years later, Mufasa shows a young Simba the Pride Lands and explains to him the responsibility of kingship and the circle of life.
Circle of life. Sorry.
Which connects all living things. Of course, if the Lion King is awesome, it connects all living things great. If the Lion King is then we got a problem.
Everything you see, everything the light touches is our kingdom. Everything the light touches? But what about that
shadowy place over there?
That's Holton.
And you must never go there.
But that's where the Wildlife Museum is.
Let's see. Meanwhile, Scar, the brother who's been bullied his whole life and being called Scar because he lost a fight when he was a kid, plots to eliminate Mufasa.
His name is probably
Simba.
Jeff.
This is Mufasa and Jeff. It's like the Men in Black scene, isn't it? Who's this?
And Bob.
Anyway, Mufasa and Simba. So he wants to eliminate Mufasa and Simba so that he can become the Lion King. He tricks Simba and Nala, who at some point they're going to be, married because arranged marriages.
Betrothed, affianced.
One day you two are going to be married.
Can't marry her. She's my friend.
Yeah, it would be too weird.
Aw.
We've seen this movie a lot.
Yes.
And also, I think we quoted this line in one of our podcast episodes like weeks ago.
We get the introduction of the hyenas at that point, I think.
Yes, the hyenas who
awesome. One day, Simba and Nala decide to go away
to the elephant graveyard.
Yeah.
Right. And then that's fine, they can go as long as Zazu goes with you.
I want to talk about that cleaning scene because it was brought up on Twitter a couple weeks ago. They actually followed the frame. So Simba's here, his mom grabs him by the head with her mouth.
Yeah,
and
as
pulls,
cats are doing.
Yeah, that's how lions carry one another because they don't have thumbs because they're stupid. And she picks up Simba by the head and drags him over to her so that he can be groomed and cleaned.
Yeah,
and
get
someone kind of
dirt off you.
Did the physics of it because it's okay, she's sitting right here, and she's established in the opening shot. Simba walks in and is standing right here. And then her head comes from her neck must be 8.5 feet long.
She's like a giraffe lion.
Yeah, she's got super stretchy Mr. Fantastic powers that are never addressed. It's just something I wanted to bring up.
Well,
this movie's a little silly sometimes.
They have Inspector Gadget on the cast, so maybe he helped install something into her neck.
Okay.
I mean,
I get it.
You could cheat the camera a lot more easily with animation.
Yes.
Right. Or what you could do is you could spend $300 million filming actual lions and then superimposing their mouths moving and then recreate the Lion King to a chorus of meh?
It got meh? I heard worse than that.
I
Haven't seen it.
have no desire to see it because why do I want to watch a live-action Lion King?
When the animation version is 1,000 times better anyway.
How many of the live-action Disney remakes has everyone seen?
I have seen Aladdin, and that's it.
Okay. I have seen, I thought of it on the way over here.
Beauty and the Beast.
Nope. It wasn't Beauty and the Beast. It was... Crap. I'm going to forget it. And
What else did they do besides those three?
They did Aladdin. They did Beauty and the Beast. They did
Did
The
they do Little
Lion
Mermaid?
King. They did
No, they're doing the Little
Mulan
Mermaid.
recently. They did one, and it's the only... Jungle Book! Aha!
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw the Jungle Book.
Yeah.
And it was okay. Same director, Jon Favreau. He is very competent in his filmmaking. He's made some really good ones. He's made some okay ones, and he's made Cowboys and Aliens.
But when you
Jungle Book's not one of my favorite Disney movies.
But when you're remaking like classic movies that are absolutely off the charts and fantastic and amazing, you need to be a little more better than competent.
It wasn't that it wasn't competent. It was that you've stripped down any personality that the movie had.
Because in live action, it's hard to anthropomorphize things in live action.
It's also hard to let me know with a facial expression on a real lion what emotion he's supposed to be feeling.
Yeah, because you have to draw the line to where to how much you're going to animate this live action animal's face, because there is a certain point where it's just not going to be believable. And so they're like, well, this is our line. We can't cross this line, but you're also limiting the emotional response that you can animate into someone's face.
We all know that live action animal talking movies peaked with one movie, Babe, Pig in the City.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's a lot easier to animate pigs, though.
Well, they had already done the Jungle Book live action in the 90s.
But that didn't have talking animals in it.
No, it didn't.
No.
It was more dedicated to the book.
Well, the newer one was called Mowgli, wasn't it?
I think so.
I want to say
it
it wasn't called the Jungle Book. It was called Mowgli.
That was the Netflix series, if I'm not mistaken, right?
It's possible. I don't know. It all gets
I
confused.
have no idea. I will tell you this. The Jungle Book that you're talking about, the live-action one from the 90s, starred Jason Scott Lee. You know who that is? The guy who played Bruce Lee in a Dragon Story or something. What is it called? Dragons?
Into the Dragon?
No, it's not Enter the Dragon. It's the Bruce Lee biopic from the early 90s starring Jason Scott Lee in a dragon, a Bruce Lee story. That's what it's called.
Okay, so they're all headed to the graveyard, but they've got to get rid of Zazu first. So they do it in the only way you can in a Disney movie, through song.
Through a big
number.
musical number.
That's the only way you could do it.
Just can't wait to be king.
And that's a fantastic song for what it is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a mighty king, so enemies beware. Well, I've never seen a king of
You
beasts
may
with...
be right.
Wait, yeah.
Oh.
It's very Billy
I may
Joel.
be crazy.
But I just might be the dodo bird you're looking for. They get to the elephant graveyard.
Have you ever heard? There's a video of the actor Ben Mendelsohn.
Okay.
Don't know.
Do you know who Ben? Did you see Rogue One?
Yes.
Yes.
He's the bad guy with the lisp and the English accent. Ben Mendelsohn has a video where he is on a radio station, just like spoken word, reading the lyrics to "I Just Can't Wait to Be King." It's the most horrifying thing I've ever seen in my life.
Ugh.
Because he's got this real low English voice and a little bit of a lisp. I'm gonna be a mighty king. Enemies beware.
So they get to the elephant's graveyard and they meet the stars of the movie.
The stars. The trio.
Stars. The
The
people
Triforce of talent.
right? They steal the movie. It's
The hyenas,
The hyenas.
The hyenas.
Whoopi Goldberg, Cheech Marin, and Jim Cummings.
Yes. And they make some puns and they make some threatening language.
Ed laughs a lot.
It laughs a lot.
Yeah, because there's a conniving hyena, which is Whoopi Goldberg. There's like a stoner hyena played by Cheech Marin.
I
And
would
there's
say he's the laissez-faire hyena. I wouldn't
Sure.
call him a stoner.
he's the cavalier
Sure.
hyena, and then there's the stupid hyena
Yes.
that only laughs.
Because you had to have somebody smart, somebody laid back, and somebody absolutely stupid in a Disney movie as the villains. It's the only way you could do it. And they go to attack the kids, and they say, "Give me your roar." And then all of a sudden Mufasa's roar comes out, and he absolutely wipes the floor with them
Right.
because he's Mufasa.
I don't know much about hyenas in the wild.
They're terrifying.
I feel like 3 of them could probably take down a lion.
Oh, we will get to that. We will get to that.
I would not want to face one hyena, even if I had a gun.
No.
They're terrifying.
And I was going to talk about how in the remake, you know who originally wanted the role of the 3 hyenas?
Go on.
The New Day.
Really?
Yeah. The professional wrestlers. Who? Professional wrestlers, the New Day. That would be Big E, Xavier Woods, and Kofi Kingston. They're 3 wrestlers, and they're already cartoon characters. They're hilarious. They would have been great hyenas, but I don't even know who they got to be the hyenas in the remake. Because again, haven't seen it.
I don't care to.
Don't want to.
I've forgotten where we were.
We
talking
were.
about hyenas.
The hyenas were getting the shit kicked out of them by Mufasa.
Zazu,
Oh, yeah.
take Nala home.
Yeah.
I need to teach my son a lesson.
And
So he
then-
scares the living at the kid.
Yeah,
And
which is
then
fine.
yells at him.
But he also teaches him about
I
the
thought
stars.
No. I need to take a moment.
Okay.
Because I related to this scene a little bit too much, which I will elaborate. So, Mufasa is basically telling Simba, like, I'm not mad. Like, I'm legitimately fearful for my son because I thought for certain that you were dead. I thought I lost my son. And, like, that's supposed to be a heartfelt moment.
Yeah.
Your dad's not mad. He's scared because he
Yeah.
thought his son was dead.
Mm-hmm.
I may or may not have done the same thing to my mother.
And they look up at the sky, and Simba learns about the great kings of the past.
Yes. The awesome kings of the past.
Yeah, those stars are kings. When I die, I will join them. It's like, what's really great to talk to your dad about? Death. I love talking to my dad about when he's not going to be there anymore.
Because most of my days when I talk to my son, I put my arm around him and said, son, one day I'm going to die.
Yes. I can't wait for that to be the first thing I say to my child. So by this point, I would say that after Mufasa deliberately ruins his son's night by saying, you scared me. Like, nobody likes to scare their parents. We cut to Scar, and he's scalding his hyenas, isn't he?
Yeah, he's chewing them out. He let me see.
That's the song that we get the Be Prepared.
Yes.
Which is the most fashy fucking song I've ever heard in my life.
There's actual goose stepping, except it's
man.
hyena stepping. There's hyena stepping.
Yeah.
So they have to show that he's bad by using literal Nazis.
Yeah, exactly. But, because we're anthropomorphizing here.
Yes.
We can't. Animals aren't evil. Animals don't give a shit. They're just doing what they do. But we have to take a lion and make him evil. And how do we do that? By doing something unnatural, like singing.
And Nazis.
Yeah. We're going to give you like 3 verses.
Dexter, animals are a lot like people. Some of them are mean because they've had hard lives or have had things taken from them. But a lot like people, Dexter, some animals are just jerks.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that doesn't make them evil.
Thank you, Stampy.
Thank you, Stampy.
We're getting into a philosophical discussion here.
But he uses the Be Prepared, great song.
He uses the Boy Scout motto.
He uses the Boy Scout motto to determine whether or not his brother should die.
Also very fashy.
Yes. Okay. They recently allowed girls to join the Boy Scouts, right?
Can I join the cookie one? Which one's the
would
cookie
be the
one?
Girl
The Girl
Scouts.
Scouts. I'll join the Girl Scouts if
No.
I can. No.
So you're just going to do like 3-card Monty on the outside of like grocery stores instead of selling cookies?
Yo, I'm about to sit down this afternoon and come up with 150 middle-aged merit badge ideas.
Tied my shoe.
As long as one of them is called Pikachu.
A Pikachu merit badge?
Yes. So where you shock an old person.
It's when you try and change out a 2-prong to a 3-prong and shock yourself. Like, oh, you just earned your Pikachu middle-aged merit badge.
It's just like when you have to cut the ground off of your extension cable because your outlets don't have the 3rd prong.
I just change out my outlets.
Nope. It's too much work, especially when you're renting a house. I don't change out.
Just buy those little grey things.
What?
They convert to.
Oh, the converters.
Oh, yeah.
My house is full of them.
Adapters, that
Yes.
thing.
There's
Okay.
a lot. There's a lot of those adapters in this house.
Yeah.
I imagine it was really hard for you, John, because you had to find like the European adapters to American adapters back to European adapters.
I found that the hard way because one drunken night I thought I'm gonna play my guitar tonight, so I plugged in my
Wait,
pedal
do
board.
European guitars have different
The pedal boards do.
Okay.
So I've got the pedal board. I'm looking at
Then
it.
he was quarter-inch.
Oh, I can just put this in
You
there.
play the
not a
guitar
problem.
on the other side of the neck.
So I plugged it in, and then the first thing I thought is, oh, what's that smell? And then the thing never worked again. So sad.
So yeah, be prepared.
Be prepared. So after they were prepared, Scar decides to set a trap. He decides to get Simba out there and practice your roar. Practice your roar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's lured him into this gorge.
Yeah.
In the middle of nowhere, but they live in the middle of nowhere, so it's probably somewhere to them.
It's probably like the next neighborhood or something.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the next pride over.
They're all aware of the gorge because, Scar runs up to Mufasa and he's like, "Stampede in the gorge. Simba's down there." I mean, that was
Yeah.
that was
6 words,
that's
and
acting.
Mufasa knew exactly
Where to go and what to do.
where to go and what to do.
Simba, Stampede, Gorge, Plastics,
Dinner.
Like Timmy being down a well.
Succession. I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud? I'm sorry.
I'm just reading out my plan, but I was supposed to stop at a certain point, and I didn't.
Said the loud
Dexter, you're
part,
saying
quiet
the
part loud.
they're saying the quiet part loud again.
Daddy told me those were inside words.
But Mufasa goes down there, right? Tries his fastest, and all these
No, hold on. What's the threat of being in a gorge?
stampede.
There's a stampede. We've said stampede
A
like
stampede
4
of
times.
what?
Oh,
pigeons?
wildebeests.
Wildebeests. John, what's a wildebeest?
It's like a
You live on that side of the ocean, you know,
It's
right?
like an African deer.
We don't have that here. The fuck's a wildebeest?
It's like an African deer.
I was gonna say
African deer.
It's closer to like a really skinny buffalo.
You say it's like half deer, half bulldozer.
You know where buffalo wings come from?
Yeah.
Wildebeest.
Wildebeest? Let's go to Buffalo Wildebeests.
Yeah.
Buffalo wildebeest.
That's what the W stands for, right? Buffalo Wild Wildebeests.
B-dubs.
B-dubs.
Buffalo wildebeest wings.
Hey. Let's go to Stampede in the Gorge.
The one thing I love about the stampede scene is the camera work was perfect because I guess all the cameramen knew exactly which angles to capture the upcoming mood. I mean, accident that is about to happen.
Definitely. And
Well,
this
that was
is
also a very cinematographically. Somebody get the word.
cinematography.
Cinematographically. What's the adverb? I need the adverb.
Cinematic.
Yeah, it's just cinematic.
From a cinematic standpoint, there's not one word that means that. From a
You could just say from a cinematography standpoint.
From a cinematography standpoint, they did a lot. That was like one of the first times that motion tracking was a big deal because they actually went through like this whole like 3D processing program to like chart the course of the random wildebeests running into the gorge.
Yep.
Which was very I mean, it's still to this day holds up. I think it's just a very visually cool sequence.
Definitely.
They started that motion tracking animation with the Rescuers Down Under. I don't know.
Did they?
The opening shot of the Rescuers Down Under starts at a blade of grass and a bug kind of like comes on the top of it and flies off, and then the camera just zooms in through the
towards Ayers Rock.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This
remember.
this sequence took 6 months to like plot out and animate by
What?
itself. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Say that one more time.
It took 6 months.
It took 6 months for that one
For
scene.
that one scene.
Okay.
Now usually these
American Pie 2 was filmed in 5 weeks.
and you can tell.
Yeah.
There's no wildebeest stampede in American Pie 2.
No, but Sean William Scott and Jason
Biggs almost give each other a
No, they make out with one another.
And that alone was 4 of the 5 weeks.
I think if you watch the outtakes of that scene, it's like it takes them so long to film it because they can't stop
they're
laughing.
Working, yeah,
they think
they
it's
just keep going
hilarious.
blockbuster, summer blockbuster.
They just keep-
Okay, let's do it.
It's like, hey, their agent would come in and like show them a picture of the check that they're getting for the sequel to the biggest comedy of the summer. Like, yeah.
It wasn't Will Ferrell and
Now you
Sacha
kissed that man on the mouth.
It wasn't Will Ferrell and Sacha Baron Cohen going for it on the set of Talladega Nights.
Oh God, yeah.
That was ad-libbed and they went for it.
I commend them both for just at the same time going, you know, it would be hilariously uncomfortable if we just started hardcore making out.
And because it's those two,
Hey, Dexter.
Yes. When Mufasa and Scar were hardcore making out, and Elton John just standing behind a bush watching, scribbling furiously on a notepad.
There's a stampede of wildebeests in this gorge, by the way.
so Simba is saved at this point by Mufasa.
Right.
And then he's trapped.
Mm-hmm.
He gets knocked down a couple of times and then tries to climb up the...
He tries to climb up the
mountain.
the peak, and Scar grabs him by clawing into his hands and holds him there. And he looks in his eyes and he says, "Long live the king." and then flings him out, and you get this killer shot of like Mufasa falling to his death into the mass of wildebeest stampeding.
And it hard cuts to like a hard zoom in on Simba's face as he's watching his dad get run over. And I always thought it was really weird. How did Scar know the tagline to 2019's Godzilla King of Monsters?
I think there's a lot of disbelief we have to suspend for Disney.
How are these lions talking?
How do these lions know in the future, man?
Why does one sound like Whoopi Goldberg?
And if they did know the future, why didn't Mufasa go down there knowing he was going to die?
Right?
Yeah. I would watch a time traveling
Mufasa,
Lion King.
Hyenas in the Pride Land.
88 miles per hour.
Yeah. Mufasa, we gotta save your kids, Mufasa. There's 88 wildebeest. We gotta get them. I'd watch that movie.
See, even in this is the thing, right? But
Back to the Gorge.
All 90s movies, they had a one-liner, right? They had one-liner when something cool or action-based was happening. Even in a kids' movie, Long Live the King, bang, dead.
Yeah, they should have put that on the poster.
And
just like a screenshot of a lion falling into a gorge.
Yeah. So the stampede finally clears out, and then you have the saddest scene in the movie, which is Simba just walking up to Mufasa's dead body and trying to like snuggle it, and you want to kill yourself.
Yep.
And then of course Scar shows up and is like, "Look what you did, you little jerk."
It's Kevin McAllister's uncle.
Yeah. Uncle Frank?
So Simba looks around and sees there's milk everywhere and there's pizza everywhere, and he's going to go sleep in the third floor with the little cousin who pees himself.
Hey, get out of here, you little pervert, or I'm going to slap you silly.
You're getting into sequels.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want a top tier of sad animal deaths in kids' movies, all right?
I'm not making that list with you.
I'm going to make the list right now. I'm going to say 5 right here on this moment. Okay, so number 5 is Mufasa, just because we're talking about it now.
So it only gets worse. Is what you're saying.
It's going to get worse. Number 4 is oh God, help me out. It's
is it Disney?
No, it's not a Disney movie. It's Never-Ending Story.
Oh, Atreyu.
Yeah, Atreyu was the boy. It's the
horse.
The horse's name, whose name I can't remember.
Not Falcor, that's the dog.
The horse that just got sad and couldn't get out of the mud. Excuse me.
Oh, God.
Artax?
Stand by.
What?
You're close.
Fairfax?
Artax.
Yeah, you're right.
Artax.
Yeah.
Halifax.
Carfax?
Halliburton.
Number 3 is the classic Bambi's mom dying. I feel like that is always going to be talked about. Number 2 is the death of Optimus Prime.
You had to bring that one up.
Yes, he's not an animal, but it still hurt.
Yeah. Never saw it, never cared.
You need to watch the original Transformers cartoon movie. It is fucking amazing.
Yes.
It's not as overtly a toy ad as the show is.
Okay.
It actually has a plot.
Okay.
And Leonard Nimoy is the bad guy.
Yes. Leonard Nimoy as Unicron. It's
Okay.
fucking awesome. No, that's Orson Welles. He is Galvatron. And then, number 1, saddest animal death in a kid's movie, Auntie from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Want to know why? Because they befriended it. Mm-hmm. It became their pet. Mm-hmm. And it died saving their lives from a huge stop-motion scorpion.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't mean to pull you off track. I just had to say all those things out loud. My therapist says if I don't say top 5 lists of things, I'll die.
You must have the same therapist as John Cusack.
I do. Moving on. Sad dad dies.
And Scar, being the absolute idiot that he is, doesn't decide, you know what? I just killed your dad. I'm not gonna rip you apart with my bare claws.
Yeah, that would have been the...
You're right.
That would have solved the problem.
If it's like, hey, Simba, I know you're sad, but let me just put my teeth around your head and neck snap. All right, cool. Problem solved. End of movie, roll credits.
Yes.
Run away.
But no.
Run away and never return.
And then as soon as he's out of camera shot, kill him. Just,
Yeah, and then they move.
Yep.
And then he... Yeah, if you ever come back, we'll kill you.
No, you're supposed to kill him. Don't leave him alone. Kill him.
I think my favorite line in the entire movie is said in this scene by Whoopi Goldberg, which is, I'm not going in there after him, coming out looking like you, cactus butt. Fucking love it.
Cactus
Whoopi
butt.
Goldberg is a national treasure.
She is.
Now that was one of the most serious parts of the movie, right? He's running away.
Cactus butt, yeah.
Yeah, cactus butt. We got the
That's the one-liner.
we got the dramatic music. He's running away.
Tagline of the movie.
These hyenas are chasing him. We're all still emotionally upset from Mufasa being dead. My kid's like, "Ooh, wee!"
Yeah. And then he's just walking through the desert. He's half dead, dehydrated, starving, and then
Vultures are coming down to an alive.
yeah, vultures are getting uncomfortably close.
Even though he's still alive.
Yeah, even though he's still alive, they're feeling like I could probably take him at this point. And then bowling for buzzards, we get Timon and Pumbaa just come a running.
The second stars of this movie. See,
Yes, I would argue they're the first stars of this movie.
So who would you consider the comic relief, Timon and Pumbaa or the hyenas?
Timon and Pumbaa.
Timon and Pumbaa.
The
different
hyenas
reasons.
are
Yeah.
are a
tension relief.
yeah.
They're
and-
the
They're also a
stereotypical
bad guy.
the dumb henchman.
Yes.
there you go.
The dumb henchman.
Even though they have a dumb henchman in the dumb henchman. That takes time
Yes.
to do.
Yeah.
yeah.
So, Timon and Pumbaa decide to show Simba the that they are outcasts themselves, and it's a meerkat and a warthog because they are natural allies.
Our first introduction to a meerkat. Most people from Louisiana and America, you don't really see meerkats around here.
No.
No, I didn't know what a meerkat was.
I saw them in high school at what's the zoo we have in Florida, Busch Gardens or something like
Yeah.
that.
Sure.
They had a meerkats, and I was like, holy shit, Timon is a real thing. That's not something that was made up. It's not like a Pokemon. Wow. Okay.
So this is where the suspension of disbelief kind of makes it even less believable.
Why
you had-
would a lion hang out with a meerkat and a warthog for this long?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
Not just that, right? He becomes as strong as a lion who hunts in a pack.
yes. Eating nothing but bugs.
Yes.
Over the course of how long?
At least
Several years.
At least 4 years.
Really? Is that how long it takes an adolescent lion to reach, like, I guess,
I'm
Adulthood?
guessing so.
adulthood? I don't know. I don't know the biology of lions.
All I know is they had to walk across the whole log.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And that's
Like
a long
however
ass
long
log.
that takes. I mean, obviously he went from being a kid to like a teenager to an adult. It's a long ass log.
You think he was just walking for that entire 4
The
years?
whole time.
Yeah, depending on what bugs they were eating as well. I mean, you know.
Weird
Hakuna
DMT
Matata.
bugs
We
where
got,
they go in
we
life
got
journeys?
Hakuna Matata,
The
a song
The song.
so revered by children that it was shown in Toy Story as a song that being listened to by children
Yes.
Yeah.
just the next year.
Yes.
Hakuna Matata. What a wonderful phrase.
Yeah. Ain't no passing phrase.
It means no worries for the rest of your days. I mean, that's the mantra of children.
That's what it should be.
Don't worry.
Don't worry.
I'm sorry. I was just imagining what it would be like to lift up a log and slurp down a big grub. That thing looked like, I'm not going to lie, as a kid watching them eat those bugs, they made the bugs look pretty appetizing.
Not
did.
me. I was grossed out by that scene.
Nah,
They
like,
made them look like gummies.
yeah.
Yeah.
And like it looked like they were just eating crunchy candy that would move around under your teeth if you couldn't chomp it fast enough.
Oh, yes. The greatness of this movie is interrupted by fart jokes. Because you have to have fart jokes.
There was one fart joke and it got cut.
Not in front of the kids.
Not in front of the kids.
I thought that was brilliant. I thought that was probably a lot of kids' first introduction to the idea of breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah.
It's really perfect timing, and they only did it once.
They did it once. They had to do it once. That's one of the good things about this movie. Everything that they did that might have been seen as that could have been used again and again and again. They used it only once, and it meant something.
What do you mean to do? Dress and drag and do the hula?
Yeah.
Wow! If you're hungry for a piece of fat and juicy meat, eat my buddy Cooper because he is the treat. Always looking fine. Guys doing fine. All you have to do is get in line. Ah, you egging? Yup. For some bacon? Yup. He's a big pig. Yup. You could be a big pig too. Oi!
So after insulting Mufasa unintentionally, Timon and Pumbaa with the
Wait, you mean Simba?
Simba, he goes off on a sulk. And starts ranting to the sky, and his rant is somehow picked up by Rafiki because I guess they had good
No, he sends the word sex in the air with debris.
SFX.
Yeah, sex.
Sex.
Yeah.
That's what we put.
Which is how lions pronounce sex.
How many of you people are sexually active?
And
I don't pay my other lions for sex.
You said you'd always be there for me, but you're not. And then you hear the on the squash banana.
that's like the biggest whine since like Luke Skywalker.
Yeah. I'll put it up there. Simba has a very similar journey to Luke Skywalker.
Yeah,
And
because
the
at
same
some
dad.
point James Earl Jones says, "You are my son."
Yeah. Actually, it was way earlier in The Lion King. In fact, it was probably in a scene that we weren't shown. We had to wait until Luke Skywalker was 23 before we got that scene.
Yeah.
Simba got it right off the bat.
Yeah.
Which is why Simba didn't
Lion,
try and
lion
get
years,
his hand chopped off.
Lion years are different.
The Lion Force is really more of a guideline.
Yeah.
So after all this has gone down, for some reason, Nala shows up because I guess they're hungry. Because
Nala shows up because they've had to search further and further out to find food because the way Scar has been running his kingdom of lions, all the animals got the out. He didn't respect the circle of life or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that they overhunted in order to feed all of the hyenas that he has allied himself with.
Yeah, and because they weren't willing to do the hunting, all the lionesses have to do the hunting. Sir Robbie, where is your hunting party?
Okay. One of us at this table has seen this movie more than the other ones, and I think we know who.
Yeah, that VHS tape doesn't work anymore.
So after being grossed out of the fact that they might be betrothed to be married, Simba and Nala fall in love.
Their hormones activate.
Yeah, she totally gives him me eyes.
Yeah, and they have a sex scene.
And vicariously, all the children watching this movie get me eyes from a lion.
While being serenaded by Elton John.
Yeah. Can you feel the love tonight?
Can you feel the
It's
love
a great song.
It is.
It is where we are.
It was written by Elton John, right?
Yes, it was. And on the soundtrack, you get the Elton John version, which was released as a single on the radio, along with his version of Circle of Life.
Right. But do you know, I've told you this before in the past, originally in the movie, Timon and Pumbaa were going to sing
the whole song. Instead of just the intro and the outro.
Correct. And then Elton John got wind of this and said, no, the they aren't.
No. Do you know who the I am?
Yes.
I look like somebody's elderly
Had
aunt.
he been knighted by 94?
Sir.
I'll
Elton?
figure that out. You guys talk amongst yourselves.
Tell me, Elton John, the song, let's talk about it. Elton John, songwriter, piano player extraordinaire.
Yeah.
Wrote two that I know of fantastic songs for The Lion King. I'm not sure if he wrote any other songs for The Lion King. He really enjoyed Can You Feel the Love Tonight. Thought it was a great song.
Yeah.
And then was told that he had to give up vocals to two animals.
Yeah, but they end up using a female vocalist in the movie, did they not?
Can you feel
I don't know who that is, and I don't care. Elton John was knighted in 1998.
So
It was probably Sally Drowski, who was the female Nala.
Okay, that makes sense. Sure.
Because they have her credited as Nala's adult singing voice, and she doesn't sing.
yeah,
in the movie.
other than that song.
Other than that song, that's
Okay.
the only female voice singing.
Okay.
So Nala is singing that song to me.
Yes.
Okay.
So after they get it on in the bushes, after being watched by a warthog and meerkat,
Then cry.
then cry, then have a big argument because
She's gonna eat me!
yeah that and
That's my favorite line in the movie, is when he is just looking out terrified that his ass is about to get chomped off because there's a lion coming right at him.
see that's the problem. He's been living on bugs. She's been hunting like animals twice the size of him, and he manages to put her down.
Right.
And they only realize it's each other because they do that move that they did at the beginning of
Pinch
the movie.
again.
And they kind of, whoa, it's you. Like,
Yeah.
surely you could remember how each other
Yeah, you don't
smelled.
remember that secret handshake we used to have?
Hey, sorry to bring this back up, but something that the remake I have a problem with. One of the reasons why I don't want to
Okay.
see it.
Okay.
So this scene is you're supposed to recognize Nala because she does that same move, right?
Signature.
Right,
yeah.
and you're like, oh, it's Nala. Oh yeah, it kind of. You know what you can't do with a live action lion?
Make it do a cartwheel?
Differentiate it from another fucking lion.
Oh, Not even a
They
male
all
and
look
female?
the same.
They didn't give Simba a mane?
Obviously, male and female lions look the same, but like the lionesses, when they're standing in a row, you're like, which one is Simba's mom? Unless she's talking, you have no fucking idea who any character is.
But I had the same issue in the cartoon. All the female lions look the same in the cartoon as well.
There's one dead center of the frame that you're supposed to be looking at all times.
Yeah, but
that's how fucking cinema works.
But they did the same thing in the live action, I'm sure, as well.
No, because it's just like it's the two shot, and one lion doesn't look any different from the other lion, and they're not doing any motions that would differentiate them, make them stand out. The reason why you know who Simba's mom is in this one is because when they call her forward, she's the one who's holding her head high and walking proud and stuff like that. You know who you're supposed to be looking at. And the fucking remake is like, you can't do that with real animals. They don't take direction.
You can put your personality on something animated. You can't put something on, on an animal. Is I guess what you're saying?
Yes.
Yes. After Rafiki finally comes in and convinces Simba that he is who he is, and shows him a reflection of Mufasa in the water,
And smacks him on the head
a couple times,
teaches him to learn from his mistakes.
Yes. He decides that he's going to take off running and challenge Scar to become the Lion King.
This is after he sees his dad in the clouds, though.
Yeah, it's
we didn't did we cover that?
No, that's we're about to cover that because that's
okay. Is that after he runs off? Is when he
just before he runs off?
Ah, okay.
He sees his dad, then Rafiki, then runs off. I think that's the order.
No, he sees Rafiki, and then he f***s around with Rafiki for a minute, and then that's when Rafiki takes him to the water's edge, and he says, "Look, there is your father, and I'll show him to you." And then he says, "That's just my reflection, you stupid monkey." And he whacks him again and he goes, "No, look hard." And then he looks and then he sees like the water like kind of starts making ripples. And then he sees his dad and he goes, "Your father lives in you." And then the clouds start rolling in. And then you see a lion's face and it goes, "Simba.
This is CNN.
Luke, I am your father.
Mm-hmm. And then the clouds start rolling away, and Simba is running after him, going, "No, Dad, don't leave me." And then Rafiki is like, "What was that? The wind's very peculiar."
And so Simba takes off and runs back to Pride Rock because he knows which direction it is. Because
We get that slow motion run.
The Lion King 1.5. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
I've seen it.
No.
They do the same.
It should be called.
It should be called Lion King .50.
Yeah, because it's a somewhat of a prequel, but also runs alongside the Lion King. So like it shows the other that's going on while the Lion King is happening.
You mean all the interesting that we didn't want to know from the Lion King?
Yeah, from
okay,
Timon
cool.
and Pumbaa's point
I just
of view.
love that Timon's mom.
No, I thought that was Lion King 2.5.
No, 2. 2 is Simba's Pride, and that has to do with that's a direct sequel.
Yeah, and then this has to do with basically Timon finding everything.
Yeah, it's about Timon, and his mom is voiced by Marge Simpson.
Yes.
Julie Kavner.
Yes. And
Timon.
And she's only got one voice.
Yeah. It's the same thing with Yardley Smith.
Yeah,
she can only do Lisa. I can't do a Lisa.
And like Nancy Kerr, I can do everyone.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Dan Castellaneta doing Robin
genie.
Williams, and he needs to just shut the fuck up about it. Like it's not as good, dude.
You sound bitter.
Yeah, like the Return of Jafar, not as good, man. Like you do a good Homer Simpson, but stay the fuck away from Disney, man.
It's okay. No one's asking Robin Williams to do a Homer Simpson.
Yeah, no.
Partially because he is.
But we did get Robin Williams to come back in Aladdin 3, The King of Thieves.
Yep. Yeah.
And voice the genie again.
Sure, he got paid a cool sum of money for that one.
Yeah. Dan Castellaneta, I think, also voiced Genie in the Aladdin TV show that was shot.
Yes, he was.
Yes, he did. But the reason I bring up Lion King 1.5 is that beautiful shot you see of Simba running across the desert, right, trying to get back. They did that in Lion King 1.5, but it was Pumbaa that they used instead. This majestic shot.
Yeah. The Lion King 1.5, I think, is worth watching. The Lion King 2, I don't really care about it.
It's
but 1.5 is funny because there's a lot of inside shit that they cover from the first movie.
And they know that they know what they're doing. They're not trying to make the Lion King. They're trying to make a behind the scenes.
It's
of the
a companion.
Lion King. Yeah.
It's a companion to the Lion King.
They know it's a movie. They know, So he runs back, and he challenges Scar, and everybody's like, he's there. He's alive.
And they all think it's Mufasa.
They all think it's Mufasa at first.
Even though he
Because
very
nobody
clearly looks different from Mufasa.
Well, I mean, it's an adult lion, as you just spent a lot of time making.
No,
all
a
lions
live-action lion looks the same as any other live-action lion. I'm telling you that these animated lions do have facial differences that I can point them out in a lineup.
Okay,
True.
But the last memory everyone has of Simba is a tiny cub. They have no idea what adult Simba looks like because they think Simba is dead, that he died in the stampede because that's what they were told. So they are meeting adult Simba and thinking, this is some adult lion we've never met before, and
Mufasa?
all we can assume is that he looks kind of like Mufasa.
Even though it's been 4 years and Mufasa would have aged, this sounds like the type of people who say they've seen Tupac in the wild, and it looks like Tupac the same age as the day before he died. It's like, dude, it's been 25 fucking years. He would have aged. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Also, they're lions.
Also, I mean, Tupac was a lion?
No, that's Snoop. Snoop Dogg was a lion.
No, Snoop was a dog.
We've said it before and we'll say it again. Tupac is alive and well in the Bahamas working at a Burger King somewhere.
Yeah, everyone knows that. He's managing it now, okay?
With Elvis as the regional salesperson, who's a sleazy guy.
So, Simba wants to go take back Pride Rock.
But first, he causes a distraction, as we've already discussed earlier, with Timon and Pumbaa decided to
Song and dance it away.
Song and dance and dress and drag and do the hula.
Look, theater boys only know one way, and that's to theater boy their way out of a situation. Nathan Lane.
A good song and dance man knows his time.
One of my favorite parts of the movie is Zazu screaming, "Let me out," and Timon screaming, "Let me in," as they come in.
Oh, yes.
And then the Mr. Pig moment where he decides,
call me Mr. Pig.
that was something my daughter used to do.
Also,
we'd ask if she's talking to us, and then she'd take off running and screaming, "Mr. Pig." It's beautiful.
That is a reference to a Sidney Poitier movie, In the Heat of the Night.
Yes. And Scarface.
Kids don't f***ing understand that reference.
No, it's for adults.
It's for
It's
the
adults.
parents.
The parents.
You're making Hamlet with lions. I think it's an adult enough.
No, you got to throw.
We're gonna do some Kojak references next.
I mean, we've already had a lion sex scene.
Yeah.
There's got to be a few things in there for the grown-ups just to keep their attention.
How come we didn't get the Timon and Pumbaa sex scene?
Well, here's the thing, right?
It's the Lion King 3.5.
It's 90 minutes long, right? All the kids are either fallen asleep or the pants by the 45th minute and have checked out. So from that point on, you notice the jokes get more adult and it's more adult content.
Sure.
So it's like, okay, you've still got to sit here. Let's give you some material so that you don't walk out.
What do you think the break of this movie is? For a kid. Think about it for a kid. What's the part in this movie that, like, this is where parents can go take a pee break?
For me, it was always like right around the time Timon and Pumbaa got introduced.
Yeah.
Well, no, you can't go take a break right before Hakuna Matata.
Like right when the cactus butt thing happens, and they're like, "Yeah, run off or we'll kill you," and then like Scar's like, "It is with a heavy heart that I,"
okay,
and
that's a good spot.
then usher in a new time of lion and hyena. Like, dude, no one cares about your politics, man.
The moment adult Nala shows up, I'm like, I'm done. Don't care. I'm gonna go pee.
I'd rather watch the Rafiki bit with him seeing his dad than watch Hakuna Matata.
Ooh.
This is where we live. It's just like a Bob Ross painting.
Simba was a happy little accident.
Home is where your rump rests.
Yes. So after all the theatrical stuff is done, it comes down to Simba and Scar.
Yeah, Scar's like really laying it on like he's not the bad guy in this situation.
Simba, look, it's so great to have you back, but the problem is, they, pointing at hyenas, think I'm king.
Well, you're not. Shut up.
And then
You're my chair.
and then Nala's like, well, we don't. And then she starts walking up with all the lionesses. And then he's like, leave, Scar, and never come back. And he's like, biding his time, and then just fucking launches out. And he's like, all right, we're going to fight to the death. And Pride Rock gets struck by lightning and set on fire, because what makes something more penultimate? Fire.
And not the fire.
Not just the fire. He burns him alive.
No, he doesn't.
He just does this. He does the same thing that the Scar did to his dad.
And also not completely.
Not completely.
It's so. First of all, Scar really tries to make Simba feel bad.
Yeah.
Like.
He tries to manipulate him again.
He tries to make him feel like he is responsible for his own father's death.
And he admits it.
Yeah. And then after a while, Simba's like, wait a minute, that's not what happened.
Yeah.
You killed my dad.
Yeah. Wait, critical thinking magically appears.
And
Yeah.
after he manipulates the crap out of him.
you're in trouble again. Only this time, Daddy's not here to save you.
Yeah.
Here's my little secrets. I killed Mufasa. No!
Murderer!
So
Say it.
their cool fight is awesome because they actually tracked how lions would fight in the wild.
Yeah.
Yep.
It doesn't turn into like a kangaroo boxing match between lions. I really appreciated
It's
that.
a lot of pawing.
They don't pull out swords like in Robin Hood.
Right.
and bows and
Yeah.
At that point, Simba pulls out a sword.
The animators showed a lot of restraint in making this cartoon, and I can very much appreciate that because it very quickly could have turned into a Robin Hood or a Jungle Book where this bear has a little boy bouncing on his belly, and he's walking through the forest and bare necessities, and Bill Murray and gotta do. I don't know. Yeah, let that soak in.
there you go.
So Scar dies.
So
Scar dies. Okay, that's what I was getting at. So Scar and Simba have their little tussle match. Scar ends up getting knocked off the cliff the same way that Mufasa did.
but survived.
And he survives and he falls to the bottom of the pit.
But there's
and
no way out, and it's on fire.
It's on fire, and he's surrounded by hungry hyenas who have just been sold downriver by him not moments earlier.
It wasn't me. It was the hyenas.
Yeah.
They did all this.
Yeah, so he doesn't burn alive. He gets mauled to death by hyenas.
Yeah, you're right.
And then burned.
You're right. And about that time, the rains come and wash out the fire.
Yeah,
the stench of Saruman is washing away.
It's going to take a lot to drag me away from you, and there's nothing that 100 men or more could ever do, but I bless the rains down in Africa.
Thus completing our Toto circle.
Yes. And then all of a sudden, everything is happy again.
Yeah.
Simba and Nala have a
Not
little
quite.
girl.
Not quite. Simba still has to take his place.
Ah, yes.
Which is the most important part of the movie, is he has to basically own it and say, all right, somebody's got to clean all this up, and I don't want it to be me, but one, I'm the guy who is inheriting all this and two, somebody needs to step up, and I know how to do it. So he takes Pride Rock and finally gives his big lion roar that he's been practicing the whole movie. And then they're like, all right, well, I guess he's the king because he screams the loudest.
And then you have a repeat of the opening scene.
Yep.
They have a little child who
is immediately thrown off a cliff by Rafiki.
Because as it turns out in the sequel, isn't she a girl?
Yeah.
Yes.
How's she going to be king if she's a girl?
And you get Simba's pride.
Oh, neat.
Because,
Don't care.
pride.
Never watch it. Ever.
And Lion King 2 is, it's
I would have actually had a lot more respect for Simba if he had, restored order and then went, look, guys, y'all don't need me to be king. I had a life where I'm hanging out with my two buddies where we eat bugs and just, live an Hakuna Matata lifestyle.
But with great power comes great responsibility.
What power? He's no more powerful than any other lion. Is he the only fucking male around?
Did you see any others?
I guess not.
It's the equivalent of the of the kid coming back.
Male lions.
The stoner kid coming back, fixing everything, and going, wait, I'm in charge?
Oh, crap.
Well, no, I mean, in lion culture, the male lions are often chased out of the pride.
Yeah.
Okay.
Once there's an alpha is established, there might be one or two betas, but all the other male lions are chased the out of the pride.
All
And
right.
they set their own pride.
Yeah.
Well, what I would have
Hocus.
liked to have seen is something that I got in a show called Adventure Time.
Okay.
Do you remember the character of Lemon Hope?
Lemon Hope?
Yeah.
No.
Lemon Hope was a kid of what was his name? What was the lemon guy who yelled?
Lemon Grab?
Lemon Grab. Lemon Grab had a little sun creature named Lemon Hope, and he got liberated from the Lemon Castle where the two Lemon Grabs were ruling tyrannically.
Mm-hmm.
And when he came back, he liberated all of the lemon people from their rule, and they looked to him and said, "Oh, now you'll rule over us." And he was like, "No, I don't want to do that. I came back here to save you from being ruled. You don't need me to rule you at all." And then he goes home and goes to bed, and that's his
So
thing. He doesn't become a ruler. I would have liked to have seen Simba go, "You don't need a master! God damn it!"
So you wanted him to do Life of Brian it?
Yes!
Just abdicate
You
entirely.
don't-
All individuals.
You don't need a messiah! You don't need anybody! Tell us!
Tell us.
Oh, God. Yeah, I wanted a Life of Brian moment. I wanted him to renounce his,
Royalty.
Yeah, I wanted him to do that.
You want him to Prince Harriet.
Yeah.
Yeah! That's why I like that Prince Harry guy. And not because he married that smoking hot, what's her name?
Well,
And that is our journey through The Lion King.
I think who ended up being charged was Sir Elton John.
Yeah, oh yeah, Sir Elton John is now the King of England.
Yeah.
Everybody
He
knows
should
that.
be. Well, he should be.
He's the king of Pride Rock.
He's the king of Pride Rock.
Because when you think Lion King,
You think Elton John.
Elton fucking John.
I actually think James Earl Jones.
Really?
Or Nathan Lane more so.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
so we mentioned Celebrity Deathmatch earlier. So if they brought that back, James Earl Jones versus Elton John for who is the Lion King.
Oh.
For who is the actual Lion King.
Well, there's-
given James Earl Jones's age, I'm going to say Elton John takes this just
Elton
because
John's no spring chicken.
I know, but like James Earl Jones is like 90.
Yeah, but I bet James Earl Jones has had a fight or two in his life.
Did you ever see the movie Bingo Long and the Traveling Baseball All-Stars?
No.
It's got James Earl Jones in it. It's a cool baseball movie starring
The only baseball movie I've seen with James Earl Jones
is The Sandlot. Yeah.
I was going to say Field of Dreams, but The Sandlot 2.
Is he in Field of Dreams?
Yes! He's one of the main characters.
I've never seen Field of Dreams.
It's a great movie.
Sorry, Kevin Costner doesn't do it for me. What was I getting at? Oh, yeah. James Earl Jones.
Some movie you were
Baseball
telling me
movie.
about.
Bingo
Yeah.
Long and the Traveling Baseball All-Stars stars Billy D. Williams, James Earl Jones, and Richard Pryor. It is a great movie. I strongly suggest everyone watch it.
Okay.
I'll go into it. So we're done with the movie part of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's something you mentioned earlier that I wanted to bring back up. Did you know that lions are more scavengers than hyenas?
Yeah, I mean, when you live out in the fucking savannah, it's just kind of like, I like to think of it less as being scavenger, being more opportunistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, you work smarter, not harder.
Yeah, because, like, I don't know what the word is. The people that study animals, they were off when this movie came out because they displayed hyenas as these scavengers and low intelligence and like, no, hyenas are smarter, stronger, and have a more close-knit society than lions.
Yeah, they're
And
there.
they have
well, just like in Jurassic Park, the same thing
Dodecahedron.
with the Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah.
We want the Tyrannosaurus to be this mighty hunter, and he's not. He was a
He's a
scavenger.
right, and velociraptors were about the size of chickens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there's that, and then there's they wanted kids movie, sexual harassment subplot.
What was JTT doing?
Well, he spent no. I'm not going to
Oh,
go
God.
there. But they wanted Scar to basically try and seduce Nala. When she said no, he exiled her from the Pride. That was going to be in the movie.
Oh, yeah, don't do that.
No.
Oh, there's gonna be a moment where Scar decided to take Nala.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
then when
Pass?
she fought back, he kicked her out.
Okay.
Pass.
Yeah.
Pass?
Yeah, a Disney movie doesn't need that.
No. Well, even though they just did that with Aladdin a year before. Well, that's the other thing too, right? You mentioned it how you should have ended how they should have ended the film. This movie got a lot of criticism because they wanted to keep they thought it was fascist. The idea.
What?
I mean, it definitely shows fascism.
Yeah?
Yeah, no, but the idea that only the ruling class rule and only the strongest rule.
Yeah.
Well, it's the whole premise is it's the circle of life.
Yeah.
You know, like from the deer that
Crawling
eat the grass to the
to the
antelope.
leaping antelope.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
circle. And my only take with the ending, and I hated it from the first time I saw it in theater, is like you get this big circle of life, bookend, and then it finally builds, and then it goes, boom, and it says, "The Lion King," and I'm like, no, it should say,
The end.
"The End." And that has bothered me to this day, and I finally have an outlet to talk about it. You say The Lion King at the beginning, and at the end you say The End.
So you were just sitting in that theater waiting for the movie to
Yeah,
restart.
like I watched all the credits. All the Elton John songs.
So do you not leave theaters unless a big title card comes on that says The End?
The End.
I've been sitting in movie theaters for 6 years.
I know all the custodians. They're like, dude, you gotta go.
I haven't seen the end of the movie yet!
Is it over? Is it over? Well, the lights are on.
So we have to get the next party in here. Can you please leave?
They have to go turn the projection back on and write on a dry erase thing, just the end.
No,
see,
they have to walk it through like a woman in a bikini, holding up the end. She walks across the front.
She looks like a fight card, round
fight card girl.
Yeah.
Go. And except it says The Lion King, and I'm like, what? All right, so John, we apologize. We have taken this completely away from you. So you rein it back in and take us across the finish line if you can.
That really is everything. I mean, aside from we've gone through the soundtrack because it's fantastic. I say it's a 10 out of 10 movie.
Okay, so you've got a soundtrack. You start with The Circle of Life.
Yep.
Great song, whether it's the Elton John version or the theatrical version.
Yep.
You get track 2, which is Just Can't Wait to Be King, which is a banger.
It is a banger.
You get Be Prepared, terrifying song.
Yep.
You get Can You Feel the Love Tonight? You get Hakuna Matata.
Yep.
You get the little fun little Awima way, Awima way, Awima way, Awima, and that was a fun little bit they did.
Well, they use traditional African composition and instruments, right?
Yes, Elton John's very African.
Yes.
He made the sacrifice.
Simple word.
Yeah. Bitch is back. More like bitch never left.
I believe in love.
And I can't explain.
And that's the line.
Is this where you plug?
This is where we plug. John, if you had to give this movie a rating, what would you give it?
The movie, John.
Just like dentist.
4 out of 5 Hakuna Matatas.
17 stink beetles out of 17.
Is Hakuna Matata African? Is it Swahili?
Yes.
So the Swahili was the language that they used.
Yeah.
Yes. It does
If lions
mean no
were going to
worries.
speak, speak English, they would speak Swahili.
What was that?
I don't know.
You know what? Hey, I just want to point out, Simba.
Yeah, point them out.
I can't. They all look the same. No, Simba. The name Simba actually means lion.
Well, that was lazy.
Do
you know what Mufasa stands for?
Lion. It also stands for lion.
The
Africans have 40 different words for lion.
All must be said at different inflections to indicate the level of danger.
Simba.
If you're at Mufasa is the James Earl Jones level of lion.
Simba, Mufasa, Simba, Mufasa.
Scar.
You mean Jeff?
Jeff. Scar's name was probably Mufasa, and then Jeff, who was the bigger lion, voiced by James Earl Jones, was like, I like that name better. Now you're Scar, and I'm Mufasa. I get kids, and you don't. You get hyenas.
Wait, if that Elton John movie has taught me anything, that's how Elton John got his name. He just stole the name Elton from one of his bandmates.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to call myself Elton. Wait, Elton's my name. Yeah.
You're Reg now.
I was Jeff John. Now I'm Elton John. You're Jeff, whatever the your last name is. Mate, I don't know what accent I'm doing. It's a f***ing movie.
The Lion King.
El Rey Leon.
The end.
The end.
The Lion King. Yep. Mm-hmm. I don't know what to do next.
So that's the Lion King.
Take us out, John.
So that's what we've got with the Lion King, guys. Do you have anything going on?
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at Watch Bad Movies.
You can follow me on Twitter at the Dexter Duran.
And you can listen to our podcast called Superwierd. A quest for the absurd in children's television.
Yep,
and it is very, very good.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have thoroughly enjoyed this. I think this is the first podcast I've done with 3 people.
Yes.
I was terrified because I know we're all pretty good at carrying a conversation, and I was worried that we were going to talk over each other, and there was a little of that, but I think it worked out nicely.
We did a good job.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to do my best to try and get over these giggles.
Right.
I'll be back here in a couple of minutes, guys, if you have anything.
So next week's show, we are have Sarah back to rank Oasis' first 50 songs.
Here you go.
My daughter loves your podcast, John.
My sincerest thank you to Ben Tynan and Dexter Duran for possibly one of the most fun recording sessions I've ever had as a human being. Yeah, it was a hoot. It was a hoot. I learned a lot of things, and it was great to be a part of. If you guys want to follow Ben, he's at Watch Bad Movies on Twitter, and Dexter is at the Dexter Duran on Twitter. And of course, if you want to listen to their podcast, they have a fantastic podcast called Superwierd, a quest for the absurd in children's television, where they look at the quirks and insides and outsides of children's animation from basically what they grew up with. They're currently tackling the Pokemon anime right now, and they've tackled Superbook, which is a trip in itself. If you guys want to go ahead and listen, go check them out on all good podcast sites, and of course check out their Facebook page at Superwierd. Coming up for us, we're still plugging away and getting ready to do Oddworld Abe's Odyssey, because that's dropping on Tuesday, October 6th, and of course we have our charity live stream for Movember. I'm going to go ahead and give you more information in 2 weeks' time, telling you what we are doing, what the point of the live stream is, and so on and so forth. And that really is it for this week's episode. During my life in Fit, you probably heard Dexter mention that next week's episode is going to be Sarah coming here, and we're going to be ranking Oasis' first 50 songs, and that's probably going to be it for the Oasis material on this podcast. Only taking 7 seasons for me to finally get it out of our system, but this one is going to be, we're going to kind of do this for every band we speak about, songs in the 90s, just kind of put them on a pedestal and put them in order. So we're going to go ahead and rank it. It is a controversial episode. And I'm not just saying that for clicks, too. It is going to be very, very controversial, because there are some songs you'd expect to be higher than others, and there are some songs you expect to be lower than others, and there's one song in particular that is going to be the bane of my existence and direct all your hate mail to someone else. So that's it, guys. If you're on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, or Instagram, check out Because Maybe Network. Go to bit.ly/bmnetwork-YouTube. That's where you find our YouTube channel if you want to go ahead and listen to our podcasts there, listen to our podcast samples and our video games. And of course, we are on Apple, Spotify, Podbean, iHeartRadio, Stitcher Radio, and TuneIn if this is not where you regularly listen to podcasts. And that is it. I will see you guys next episode and beyond. See you soon, guys.
My daughter loves your podcast, John.